the FBI confirmed is targeting Catholic churches, which for those of you that say, well, I'm not a Catholic, so it doesn't even matter, or I disagree with the Catholic Church, so it doesn't even matter. Well, it matters. It matters more than you could possibly ever imagine. It matters more than you could possibly think, because they are targeting anybody that goes against their agenda. That is what this current regime in office is doing, and they are good at it. I think that it's remarkable how they are going out of their way to speak against nations like Russia. And again, I am not a Putin apologist, nor will I ever be a Putin apologist. But I think it's remarkable how they speak about the former USSR, the Russian Federation, and say that they're so evil because of the tactics that they deploy. Now, what are the evil tactics that the Russian Federation continues to deploy? What are the wicked things that they do? What are the things that are so objectionable to the rest of the world, especially the current regime in the United States of America, that it deserves being spoken against? Well, how about we talk about it for just a second? What are the issues that are going on? They go after political dissidents. They actually seek to and successfully put political dissidents in jail. Sound familiar? Why is Russia so horrible? According to the regime in office right now in the United States of America, they're so horrible because anybody that disagrees with them, they silence. Even if you're a cartoonist, even if you're a comedian, even if you're putting out a meme that might make fun of something in hopes of initiating a mechanism of political satire that makes people aware of what's going on around you. We're doing that right now. We have indicted a former sitting president of the United States who will be, in essence, the front runner. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the front runner for the opposing party of the current regime. They are making every effort possible to indict him. There is a man who is about to face 10 years in prison for putting out a meme that made fun of Hillary Clinton. And this guy is actually going to jail. He's in essence a political dissident, but has done it through the conduit of political satire. A joke. The Babylon Bee will be the next people if things keep going where it's going. The kind of targeting that's going on right now with respect to Catholic churches is the exact same type of targeting that's happening towards you and me, who are parents, who are deeply concerned for our children. If you go to school and you speak against the actions or the behaviors of a certain people group, you could go to jail. Make no mistake about it. You could actually go to jail. That is what the Department of Justice wants to stop people from doing. I, on a regular basis, do whatever I can to be an example to the body of Christ in going out of my way to demonstrate to them how important it is to speak out against these wicked school board members who are seeking to pervert and destroy the lives of our children on a day-to-day basis. It happens more and more and more and more. We see it everywhere we go. And yet it would seem as though people like me taking a stand for what's right can actually go to jail for doing it. I'm not joking. You can actually go to jail. That's how bad it's becoming. I will show you a moment in time. I'll actually play the video of me addressing the Long Beach Unified School District Board. And I want you to understand something. This type of thing that we speak against when we try to stand up for righteousness is the type of thing nowadays that can land you in jail. This administration wants to make it illegal. They want to end you for standing up for righteousness because that's what they do. That's how they act. This is exactly what happens. What I'm about to play for you is a demonstration of the type of thing that they are going after when it comes to people and what's happening right now in the world that we live. This is happening, by the way, not in Russia. This is happening not in Venezuela. This is not Ukraine that we're talking about. This is the United States of America. They are going after people who are doing the very thing that I did with the Long Beach Unified School District Board. I'll play the video and I'll show you what happened. This was several months ago. Speaking to the local school board, I got roughly 3 minutes to address my concerns and I was able to do it. I'm going to play it for you all the way through. And then I'm going to explain what this administration is seeking to do. Now, you might be asking, what in the world does this have to do with Israel? Like, come on, James. We are talking about Israel and what's going on and how Jerusalem is at the middle of it. I promise you we're going there. But allow me to effectively demonstrate to you how ugly this is going. So this is what I did with the Long Beach Unified School District. I want you to pay close attention to what I said. By the way, for those of you that don't know why this happened and why I went there, the Long Beach Unified School District has decided to put Planned Parenthoods within their high schools. I'm not joking, folks. They want to make abortion readily accessible to students without the consent or knowledge of their parents. And the way that they do it is by putting in these Planned Parenthoods. It's ugly. It's racist, it's disgusting, and it is undoubtedly dark. So, Any opportunity I get to participate and to have a conversation concerning these matters is important. I want you to notice, you might not get to see all of them, but there were several black people on this panel. And when I shared what I shared, it's remarkable to consider that they looked like they were stunned. Almost like, what did I get myself into and what kind of decision did I just make? The Department of Justice understands the fact, under this regime, by the way, the Department of Justice understands the fact how critically effective it is when we do things like this as a concerned citizenry. They know how remarkably effective it is when men who are spiritual leaders in the community stand up to speak against things like this, which is why they want to shut people up. So let's take a look. Hi, my name is James Kaddis, and I'm the senior pastor of Calvary Chapel, Signal Hill. I am also a first generation born to two parents who were both born and raised in Egypt. Not that I believe in immutable characteristics being the sole authority for how I establish morals. But I think it is important to note because I am very concerned. I want to point something out before I go on, and this will be the last time I disrupt you, okay? I want you to notice the guy in the mask that is, as you're looking at this, it'll be to your bottom right. It'll be to my left. He's looking at me with a cap. He is the member of an Antifa organization called By Any Means Necessary. He's the leader of that organization. When I went to him afterwards, he claims to stand up for anti-racism, anti-fascism, and so on and so forth. When I walked up to him, actually I was in a wheelchair. When I went up to him, I said, hey, by the way, a mobility scooter, but kind of the same thing. I said, I would love to talk to you. And he looked at me like he wanted to kill me because him and his gang tried to intimidate me from coming into the building in the first place. He looked at me like he wanted to kill me, and he basically said, I have no desire to talk to you, nor will I ever. And the person that was with him, which was kind of like the assistant, said, yeah, we don't talk to your type. That's what they told me. So pay attention to his reaction. I also want to point you out to the two black women that are in the back of the room. By the way, I didn't realize it at the time, but they were anti-abortion activists, very upset by what was going on in the school. And quite frankly, they were very angry that they were not allowed to speak. But take a look at their reactions as well. The most interesting of the reactions is the ones of the people in between who were shocked, clearly shocked about what I had to say. But look at how angry the Antifa guy in the corner is as I'm speaking. And I'll tell you why the Department of Justice hates things like this. This is important to pay attention to. About what everybody is calling the well-being center. Certainly, I believe that it is admirable. I think it's remarkable. I think it's appropriate and undoubtedly God-honoring to be in a position where you are looking out for the well-being of our students. I think that that's very important. And as a father who has adopted 3 children very proudly and blessed to be able to do it, I am one that takes it very seriously to make sure that our children are being honored and respected. The concern that I have with the association of a well-being center with an organization like Planned Parenthood is deeply concerning to me. It's deeply concerning to me for a lot of levels. Perhaps one of the levels that I should speak to, besides the preservation of life and some of the other major concerns that are very obvious that go with that, may perhaps be with the issue of racism, which is something that we've been struggling with for a considerable amount of time. The founder of Planned Parenthood, Margaret Sanger, when she finally came back to the United States in 1916, after being basically someone fleeing from the law, came and founded Planned Parenthood with the sole purpose of eliminating the black race. She says it's on record. And what perhaps concerns me more than anything is the fact that 3% of the childbearing population that lives in this country, 3% are black women, yet they account for 50% of the abortions that are taking place in this country. That is remarkably egregious. It is absolutely racist. It is completely inappropriate. And I think it's even more astounding, eye-opening, and remarkable to me to consider the fact that we are launching this well-being center in the school that I understand has the highest population of black students. Perhaps what we need to focus on are the relationships that exist within families that profoundly affect the behaviors from a sociological perspective that exist within children and as they mature. I think we need to start developing communication mechanisms that bring people together as opposed to the critical race theory idea that continues to divide and bring people into a different perspective. I speak from the perspective of a mother and father who gave me the opportunity to be born and raised in the greatest country in the world, and I adamantly hate and oppose racism. I think racism is destructive. I think it's evil. I think it's remarkably hateful. And that's why we have an obligation as educators to make sure we thoroughly vet what organizations we make associations with, particularly Planned Parenthood. Thank you. God bless you. I appreciate the time you've given me. God bless you. What you just witnessed right here is the type of thing, and I'm telling you, I'm not messing around here. This is the type of thing that the Department of Justice is looking to make illegal. In my opinion, I call them the Department of Injustice because that's exactly what they are. They are a group of remarkably unjust people who are seeking to destroy the freedoms that we have to be able to defend the livelihood of our children. It's absolutely disgusting to see where things are going, but that is the general direction that we're going in. And if the Department of Justice has anything to do with it, ladies and gentlemen, let me say this again. If the Department of Justice has anything to do with it, they will do whatever they can to destroy the type of thing that I did at the Long Beach Unified School District. By the way, this is not the first time I've ever appeared before a school board. I've done it multiple occasions. It's not the first time I've ever appeared before the city council. I've done it before in multiple contexts. It's not the first time I have appeared at the Capitol or any other place where we have the right as a citizenry to be able to speak up. But it's very important to understand that for the first time ever, we are looking at a very concerted effort made at the federal level to shut the mouths of those who would be dissidents concerning the political, and might I say, spiritual stance that these evil people are taking.